Hey, in this video I want to test 3 ND filters. I want to buy a new one for my new camera and I don't know which one. So I tested the Tiffen, the K&F Concept and the Hoya. There is nowhere Hoya on it, by the way, but I'm pretty sure it is a Hoya. So let me explain 20 seconds what an ND filter is. You always need an ND filter when the sun is too bright for your aperture. When you shoot in a wide aperture so that you have that shallow depth of field, there comes too much light on the sensor and it gets blown out. So what you could do is to bring down your aperture, that you only have a small hole that lets light on your sensor, but then you lose the shallow depth of field, which is kind of nice. So the solution for this first world problem is an ND filter. You screw this on your lens and it works like a sunglass for your lens. You can bring up your aperture, let a lot of light in, but of course this filters the light and you have the shallow depth of field in bright sunlight. So what is important for me for an ND filter? I need a variable ND filter. That means if you turn this, it gets darker or lighter. I don't want 20 ND filters in my camera bag. I just need one, and therefore I compare these 3. The companies that build these things say they don't change the colors in your image. So it's only getting darker, but there is no color shift. And I want to test that if it's really true.
Now this is some footage of my beautiful garden filmed without any filter. When we put the Tiffen filter on, the colors change a bit. And when we compare it directly by sliding the Tiffen footage from the right over the footage without any filter on the left, we see that the colors change, but not that drastically. The overall look of the image stays basically the same. Now here's the footage without any filter again, and if we put the K&F filter on, we see that things change quite a bit. We slide the K&F footage over the original footage and we see that not only the colors change, but something else. And I mean this roof. We have a kind of weird polarizer effect on it, which filters out light reflections, which we don't necessarily want, because if we film a lake, we maybe want exactly these light reflections. Okay, last comparison. This is without any filter and this is with the Hoya filter. Colors change a bit, and if we slide it over, we see that we don't have this K&F polarizer effect, but it's definitely worse than the Tiffen.
So I have to admit that this was a very unscientific color test and I wanted to have a deeper look. So I wanted to do a more detailed test here in my room with controlled light. No light comes from outside, it's all with the soft boxes. The lights don't change at all, and now I want to compare these 3 filters in terms of color shift or white balance.
As you can see, I am filming this color board of my X-Rite Color Checker Passport video. Yes, that's really the name of the thing. And this is how it comes out of the camera without any filter. And this is the footage with the Hoya. What would you say? Did the colors change? Well, we can find it out with the color tools of my editing software. In my case, Final Cut Pro, but you can use every other editing software as well. So what we can do to check the white balance is to mask out the gray tones of this color board. And then we see in the RGB overlay if it's a clear white, gray and black color, or the colors are shifted and let's say the blue channel is a bit more dominant. In our case, the white balance is pretty good, which I assumed because I made a custom white balance before I shot this for having a good reference. Now this is the K&F, this is the Tiffen, where the blue line drops significantly in the middle, and this is the Hoya, where the RGB overlay looks like the Tiffen basically. And as we can see, the K&F seems to have the best white balance.
I really wanted to like the K&F concept the most. Why? Because it has stops in the end. You cannot turn it further than min or max. All the others don't have that. You can turn them around and around and around. And what happens when you use a variable ND filter and turn it over max? You get an X, a dark X in the image, which destroys your footage basically. We don't want it, so we want stops. Unfortunately, only this one has one. The Tiffen filter is the crappiest one in my opinion from how they built it. I'll show you why. I have a camera here, in my case an EOS R with 77mm. I screw this on and as you can maybe see, the inner ring which holds the ND filter on the camera is, I don't know, 1 millimeter thick and smaller than the outer ring for turning it. So how do you screw this on? You have to do it like that to even get the inner ring, and not just turning the outer ring, which does nothing, which only varies the density of the ND filter but does not screw anything. So taking on and off this filter is really a bit tedious and time consuming. So I hope this video had some new information for you. I think I will decide between the K&F and the Hoya, because the Tiffen is quite good, but it's really too annoying to take it on and off, especially when I have to do that multiple times, let's say when I'm shooting indoors and outdoors. So thank you very much for watching this video, and see you again in the next one.